develop a redevelopment plan for CDBG target areas containing strategies for revitalization and redevelopment of blighted areas.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Silver, second by Mr. Marshall. Discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Number 27 and 28 are both delayed for 2 weeks. We go to G, public hearing, community development.
Okay, public hearing is now open for community development.
Number 29, to continue public hearing on structure located at 335 North 16th Street, Julia Dozot Estate.
Oh, this is approving all of the.
It's, go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Dunn.
All right, Van done with community development.
For all the rest.
On the 335 or North 16th, I'd like to remove from the list, owner have completed the rehab.
Move. Second.
Moved by Mr. Lawson, second by Mr. Fowler to remove 335 North 16th Street off the list. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, we go to item number 30, is to hold a public hearing on the cost of demolition of 21 structures.
Number one is 2243 Albert. It's 3692, 60 cents. Then 1503 Augusta, 509, no cent. 1817 Clinton, 3150.
Is that 18? Ours is 38.
All right, I'm sorry, 3817 Clinton. Okay, 3138 Houston, 4150. 2030 Madison, 6200.
2150. Mason?
Mason. Bam. Okay, 1976 Monroe, 3445. And then 2243, the house next to it was 2250. 1213 Snacks, 1495. 1215 Snacks, 1495. 1217 Snacks, 1495. 3311 Tulane, 4015, no cents. 201 University, 1112. 518 Walders, 1925. 2636 6th Street, 1835. 2720 10th Street, 2150. And then at 1955 Harris Street, I'd like to continue until October 23rd at the request of the attorney.
Move. Second.
Moved by Mr. Lawson, second by Mr. Fowler. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. President, I'm W.T. Armitage. I was appointed to represent the absentee owners of 5 structures. The first one being 601 Compton, the owner Jesse J. Williams. I was properly served and they were properly notified. Number 2, 1918 Kelly. The owners Alan C. Fuquay and Mary Woolley. I was properly served and they were properly notified. Number 3, 412 Perry Alley. The owner is Lily J. Coleman Estate. I was properly served, they were properly notified. Number 4, 3104 Wise Street. Jesse J. Williams, owner. I was properly served, they were properly notified. Number 5, 628 Woodward. The owner's Julius Woodland Estate. I was properly served. They were properly notified.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Fowler, second by Mr. Lawson. Discussion, all in favor? Opposed, motion carries. Okay, that's all of it?
I hope so.
Okay. All right, the public hearing is now closed. We go to H, committee.
Finance Committee, Mr. Lawson.
Yes, I have a fact sheet, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a professional service agreement with Kinley Horn and Associates for the design of a community water spray pads. I move.
Second.
Move for introduction by, second by Mr. Fowler.
Okay. Public Works Committee, Mr. Silver.
Resolution of support for the USEP Hazardous Substances Brownfields Assessment Grant application in conjunction with the Kisatchie Delta Regional Planning for the Planning Department's management of the region, in turn encouraging economic development.
Move. Second.
Moved by Mr. Fowler, second by Mr. Marshall. This is a resolution.
Yes.
All in favor? Opposed, motion carries.
This is a resolution requesting our legislative delegation to support and fund the Sugar House Road project.
Move.
The resolution?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was written in longhand. I don't know who's longhand, but it's terrible.
Watch your mouth. I wrote it.
Okay, it's been
You wrote
moved by
that?
Mr. Fowler, need a second. Second by Mr. Marshall.
Illegible, but you
Hold on.
understand the concept.
Discussion. All in favor? Opposed, motion carries. Go ahead now.
All right. Recommendations of award for Alexandria 3rd Street streetscape, the introduction of an ordinance. We have been informed by the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development that bids were received by them for the Alexandria 3rd Street streetscape Jackson Street to DeSoto Street project. Bid tabulations are attached. It is our recommendation that a contract be awarded to the low bidder, Greenscapes of Location, Inc., for the total base bid in the amount of $359,556. We therefore request the City Council authorize the mayor to enter a contract with Greenscapes of Louisiana, Inc. for the construction of Alexandria 3rd Street, streetscape Jackson Street to DeSoto Street project. And this,
Move for that
This-
book you read.
that's a long one. That's not our money, though. It's someone else's money, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I endorse it.
Move. Second.
That's out
You
here.
read the little
Yeah,
part.
the one you asked about before.
That's the last phase
Yeah,
of
I
the first.
Now, it's hazardous substance, resolution of support for the USEP
No, it's
hazardous substance brownfields. Didn't I just read this?
This is another one.
Second one? Same damn thing.
Almost made it through the meeting. I begged him to try to make it through the meeting, but I couldn't.
I want you in attendance to remember one thing. You've been here a long time. This is the first time you've seen that side of the table smile, and we're smiling. I don't know if we're happy or if it's gas pains. The explanation of this is the City Council hopes the USEPA will select Alexandria's proposal for the Hazardous Substances Assessment Grant that is greatly needed for our area. The entire council supports the community-wide Hazardous Substances Assessment Grant application of $200,000 to conduct an inventory, characterizations, assessment, and redevelopment planning analysis related to hazardous substances, contamination of brownfield sites in the city of Alexandria.
Second.
That's a resolution.
I'm not going to read another one.
Is
It's
that
a
resolution?
resolution, yes.
Okay, all in favor? Opposed, motion carries.
You like to read.
Is that all, Mr. Silver?
That's all we have.
Legal Committee, Mr. Smith.
I have no report, but I'd like to, in our next meeting, Mayor, Brenda, if it won't be ready in 2 weeks or after that, I would like to see the breakdown of what they charging us for demolition. How they charging us for demolition of these houses. I would like to get that. And because my next thing was, how are we gonna put this back in use? Because I know some of these houses, my district and around town, if you look at some of these lots, they're 42 by 100, 150, and you're not, we paying $4,000 and $5,000 for demolition. And I would like to know how we're gonna put this back in the market, because the property's not worth that. You see, we got a lot of, I would just like to see us how, first thing, why they charging us, you know, for the breakdown of demolition. And the next thing is, what do we need to do for the fair market value, putting it back, you know, like we're gonna do on adjudicated property, how we gonna put it back for fair market value? Because we're using federal funds on it.
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't think we can, I'm just trying to figure out how we can put it back, you know, without getting in trouble with the federal. I'm just being serious. I mean, because you look at some of these lots, you look at some of these houses, and you go to some of these areas where they tearing down, they charging us $4,000 and $5,000. I know on 15th Street, that house is across the street from me, and that's by the railroad track, and I know ain't nobody gonna pay no $5,000 for no little small lot by the railroad track.
And many of them, we can't build anything on.
And that's what I'm saying, we're gonna be stuck. That's what I want to see, how we can come up with
But
some kind of-
because they are condemned, they are deemed to pose a hazard, a risk to the public safety, and that's why they have to be torn down, regardless of the, you know, whether it's economically feasible to replace this and put it back into the market.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. We used to pay $1,500, $2,000, no more than that. But I'm saying, tearing these homes down, like that home I looked at on, what was that, 1503 Augusta, $5,900. You know, that house is right at, close to dead end, the railroad track is behind. And I'm saying, how we gonna get it, how can we put it back into use and get that kind of money?
I understand. But something else you have to think about is, for example, if it has asbestos in it, asbestos siding or asbestos in the ceiling or floor, then the demolition contractor has to dispose of that in a certain way. So that's why the prices are what they are, but we'll get.
I'd just like to see a breakdown, okay, and how are we gonna put this back in to use?
We got some time in community development next, yeah, add it to the community
Okay.
development for next council meeting.
Wait, I'm through, I'm sorry.
Utility Committee, Mr. Fowler.
No report.
Community Development, Mr. Marshall.
No report.
Personnel, Mr. Johnson.
No report.
Public Safety, Mr. Marshall.
No report.
I got one out. The chief, I'd like for the chief, speak briefly, him and, Mr. Despino on where are we with the security for the building here. Thank both of y'all for working on it.
Of course, you're all aware that we submitted a proposal several months ago. And since that time, Mr. Jim Ligon with the building maintenance, building superintendent, has gotten into a work procedure trying to figure out what we need to do to the buildings and bring it up to code and everything else. And we're at a point now where we're supposed to have a meeting, I believe, next week? Tomorrow, where we're going to come together and decide how we're going to proceed. Mr. Despino has some more information.
Gentlemen, we're in the process right now of securing prices on various security items for this building. One of them in particular is the same setup that is used by the Rapides Parish Courthouse. And I'm sure everyone has had an opportunity to view that setup in the main lobby. This is one of the things that we're securing prices on. And there are several other items that Mr. Ligon has recommended per his consultant for this building. I feel like after the meeting tomorrow afternoon that we can apprise the mayor and the council further on their recommendations for this building.
I hope we're not just looking at this building.
No, sir.
We have exposure, and I'm not gonna name the building,
Yes, sir.
probably great exposure.
Yes, sir.
Another building, and I want to make sure that everyone needs to be secure, not
I
just
think this will all come to light tomorrow afternoon. And I know exactly what you're speaking of.
Yeah. You okay.
Okay, well, we appreciate it. We just needed an update of where we were. We
Yes,
knew
sir.
that you all were working on it. I appreciate it. Thank you.
A&E Review, Mr. Fowler. Economic Development, Mr. Lawson.
Just wanted to say, again, reiterating Sugar House, and it's important for the Third Street community to see this corridor opened up. I've been talking about it since I was a kid. I certainly want to see it come to fruition. The council and the administration share the same concerns with Sugar House not making it through the process, and I look forward to working with the mayor, Mrs. Smith's district, to make sure that Sugar House remains on the agenda to be completed from Eddie Williams to 3rd Street. I just want to make sure that the public knows that this is a priority of the administration and the city council, and this was something that we didn't have any control over what happened with the funding being pulled in Baton Rouge.
Well, Mr. Lawson, Ms. Gill told me about this case about the first time. It didn't go through the first bonded, process. And I talked to Mr. DeWitt and Mr. Curtis and all of them, and they said they were gonna see that if it go through on the second, that first process, we missed it. But they were gonna try to talk and see if we can get it in on the next, and we'd be included on the next bonding part. It was part one, and then it would go to the second part. The first bond they let out, but they go on the second one. And we also
We didn't miss, I don't want anybody to think the council or the administration missed anything. We've been pressing it, we've been calling and following up, but it's, again, the prioritization of priorities. So they decide certain things, and they pulled a lot of stuff. They pulled LSU's funding on a lot of things, they pulled Southern's. It's part of the process. No one missed anything from our end, we just didn't get on the agenda.
Missed out.
And then we also, we told them, I talked to some of the guys that the amount of money that we were putting up, with the matching, that was trying to help us out. So that's where we are. That's where we are now.
No other, what?
Okay. I think we have a young man in the audience.
Boy Scout.
Would you like to stand up and say your name and what you're working on?
Come to the mic.
You want to come to the mic? Go to the mic.
My name is Christopher Gist, and I'm working on my citizenship in the community merit badge.
When you're working on that, I think your daddy should be able to give us the Boy Scout oath, don't you?
You definitely got your looks from your mama.
we also today is his birthday.
Oh, good. Good Libra. Thank you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Try today to buy a suit.
From Kaplan's. Watch your language.
Okay, Mr.
What you planning?
Sir?
What you earning?
A
merit
merit
badge,
badge.
what?
Citizenship in the community.
Huh?
Citizenship in the community.
Oh, okay. Good.
Wonderful.
Well, we thank you.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
You ought to get it putting up with the city council meeting. Great citizen.
You can come back anytime you want to. You certainly
Now,
will.
we have a group of students, colleges. Would y'all like to, one would like to speak, or say what you all are working on?
This little row here, we're from Northwestern State also. We're all from Northwestern State University. We're in the social work program. And part of a class, we have to observe at least 2 community meetings and account for it and that kind of thing. So that's what we're doing, just making notes.
What's your name? What's your name?
John Moore.
Y'all stand up and give your name. Where y'all from or what's something?
Nicole Borgline from Alexandria, and we're all doing our internship and we'll graduate this semester.
All right.
Andrew Chu from Alexandria.
Tristan Henry from Poncho.
And y'all out here studying human behavior, huh?
I'm noticing we're getting a little bit of that. You're right.
Understand.
Okay, well, we're glad to have you.
I think Maslow can deal with this.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it?
That's it?
I move.
Move to be adjourned.